r/rules horror. Posted by u/impossible_leave_622. Paladins Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Narrative by Lance. I bought this gas station around 5 years ago. This day for some reason I've been reminiscing about the past. I've been wondering, what have the others been doing? I noticed that I was daydreaming for a bit too long and the sun was already going down. I walked the aisles of my little gas station and counted my inventory. All the food was about to expire soon. I got the gas station in the outside of the city close to a resort hoping more people would stop by, but I've been having bad luck lately. No customer, no money, no new inventory. I went behind my counter and pulled out my phone. I started to look up the dark web. I've been reading about companies that have been able to capture and study a few of the entities, but from what I can tell they have a very low success rate. Other people are formulating rules to keep themselves safe. Others, from what I can tell, are being used by corporations to find out how these entities work. I lost time reading these websites. The entities that were being described didn't seem like much, to be honest. As I was finishing my train of thought, I heard a truck pull into the gas station. I felt a little relief. I finally had a customer today. I immediately got the feeling that something was wrong. The truck didn't stop to refuel. It did 3 laps around the gas station before stopping at the 3rd pump. The man jumped out of the truck and ran into the gas station in a panic. He was short, with black framed glasses. He pulled out some cash from his front pocket and placed the money on the counter. Please put 33.33 on pump 3. No more, no less," he said. I could hear some panic in his voice. "Okay, no problem. You want a receipt?" I asked him. "No, thank you," he replied. He took a deep breath and ran outside. After he took a few steps, he yelled in panic. "No, wait. I can still keep going." I don't know who he was yelling at. He took off running to the truck. He didn't even pump the diesel. He started up the truck immediately. I noticed he also grabbed a shotgun. He pointed the gun at himself, or so I thought. What a weird thing to do. Why is he about to kill himself? Then I saw a humanoid figure right above him, right before he took a shot. The flash covered what happened, but I know that the figure I saw in the cabin with him got him. I decided to go back to my duties and keep to myself. I started to restock a few of the drinks that were sold out. Some of the vendors keep forgetting to stock them properly. As I was finishing, I noticed that a fog started to cover the gas station. I took the fog as a warning and went behind the counter, grabbed my red gloves and my pendant, and waited for something to come my way. I checked the time and noticed that exactly 33 minutes have passed since the incident with the truck driver. When I look up, I could tell a very tall man was on the outside. After about 3 minutes he decided to come in. Walked up to the counter and said, "Would you be interested in making a delivery for me? I will pay you well, I can assure you that." I almost laughed. I was expecting a deeper voice, something menacing and fear-inducing, not this. "Not interested, go away," I replied immediately. I tried to examine this man. The poor lighting of the gas station was not helping. I need to replace some of the lights. The job will only take 3 hours and 33 minutes of your time. If you complete the delivery, you will be rewarded $50,000. He seemed to have ignored the fact that I told him to go away. I am happy he did. I am very interested in the $50,000 reward. "Okay, you got my interest. What kind of delivery?" I asked him. "It's simple, just get on that truck over there and get on the road, take the truck to the next town over." He then extended his left arm and tapped the counter 3 times. Whispered something I could not make out. A knife started to carve something on the counter. "So, I am guessing the road will take me to the place. I just need to stay on it for 3 hours and 33 minutes to make it to the correct place, right?" I asked him. "Yes, and you have knowledge of this, and you still agreed?" he asked me. I didn't, I was just guessing. I am also guessing that I need to follow these rules to get to my destination. I looked down as I finished my sentence. The carving seemed to have finished. It read, "List of rules to survive Highway 333. Rule 1. At the 33-minute mark you will see your atmosphere change. It will start to get foggy, slowly the fog will get thicker and thicker. Your vision will be blocked. Keep your speed steady and do your best to keep the truck on the road. Rule 2. At the 99th mile marker the fog will clear up. This is where there will be tapping on the side windows. The tapping wants to get your attention, keep your eyes on the road. The tapping will last for 33 minutes. Rule 3. After the tapping stops, There will be a monster that will try and take your fuel. The road will manifest a tunnel. Use the wall of the tunnel to knock out the monster. You will have to keep an eye out. The monster will keep attempting to take the fuel. Each time the road will manifest the tunnel. Rule 3A. If the monster was successful and the monster took the fuel, the road will take you to the nearest gas station. When you get there, you must do 3 laps around the gas station, and top at the third pump and refuel with $33.33. Once you pay, remember to tap the counter 3 times. Rule 4. If you were successful and stopped the monster from taking the fuel, the next 33 minutes will be uninterrupted ride. During this time, you should prepare. Load up the gun onto the seat and get ready to shoot. Once the 33 minutes are up, monsters will try and break into the cabin. Use the gun to force them out. Rule 5. At all times keep the speed over 33 miles per hour. Never let it drop under 33 miles per hour. Rule 6. The last stretch of road will be bumpy. It will make it hard for you to keep your speed over 33 miles per hour. Rule 7. The last 3 miles of road will be the worst time of your life. The road will be rough, the fog will come back, the monsters will try and take your fuel. You will have to use the gun to force them out. Once I was done reading the rules, I looked up and the man was gone. I grabbed my keys and headed out. I closed the gas station and double-checked the back door to make sure it was locked. I then walked over to the truck that was parked on pump 3. The truck was an older model, maybe from the 80s. Even though it was an older model, it still looked new. As I was checking the exterior, I noticed it had a few things. The grille had the numbers 333. The main paint was bright red, it had a few scratches. I am guessing the scratches are from the previous person writing it. Nothing else was caught my attention, so I decided to get in the cabin. When I opened the drive side door, the seats looked normal, just basic and black. I decided to take a seat. The steering wheel seemed to be stitched together with human skin. The inner circle and the outer circle of the steering wheel is being connected by fingers. The transmission stick seemed to be made of a femur bone. The dash looked normal at first, until I saw that the passenger side of the dash had a skull. I started to look for the keys. As I looked for the keys, I noticed I tapped the counter 3 times and the truck started up. I should have figured it was something like that. I shifted into gear and headed to the road. Without any GPS or any directions on where to go, I decided to just go straight on the highway. I kept an eye on the time. After 33 minutes the fog started up. Just like the rules say it would. Even though the fog was getting thicker, I just kept going. I was not too worried about this ride at all. It seemed like an easy payday so far. The only thing on my mind was the rough road. After I passed the fog, I heard the tapping start. I didn't really care for it. It didn't faze me. All of this started to bore me. The tapping only lasted 3 minutes. Was it not supposed to last 33 minutes as the rules stated? This made me realize that I should prepare for the next part. I grabbed the shotgun that was underneath the seat. I loaded up the gun and used my pendant on it. With the shotgun enchanted, it will be easy for me to fend off the creature taking the fuel. I made sure that the shotgun was loaded and ready to shoot. I looked up at the road and noticed I was in a tunnel. I immediately scrolled down the window. The creature was already trying to suck out the fuel of the truck. I aimed the gun and took a shot. I got the creature with the first shot. It didn't even get a chance to scream. I can tell I hit it in the face with the shot. I rolled up the window and noticed the tunnel fading. I placed the shotgun in the passenger side seat. Then I remembered the next portion of the highway. I touched the driver's side window and the front windshield. I tried but couldn't reach the passenger side. I grabbed the shotgun again and got ready for the next part. Not even 3 minutes later and the creatures started to bang on the cabin. They topped the sides and they moved towards the windows. I saw an ugly dog-shaped humanoid on the outside of the driver's side. The creature was smiling. It had shaped teeth, dark gray hair covering its body. Its eyes were glowing with a mix of red and yellow, ember-like. It then realized that I was not scared of it. The facial changed. Now started to growl and bark at me. Not that I see this creature with more details, it reminds me of the lichens of the Dark Ages. Those lichens were bigger, so I had nothing to fear from these little ones. I had to stop paying attention to it and focus on the other window, since I couldn't enchant that one. My instincts are a bit dull. There was another creature with the same appearance on the other window already trying to break in. I grabbed the shotgun and aimed at it. The creature immediately backed off. Then I heard 2 loud bangs from the front windshield and from the driver's side window. When I turned and looked at the creatures, both were crying in pain. Whimpering, they jumped off the truck. The mist started to clear, and now the road was coming to an end. The road led me to a warehouse. I recognized the location since it had a few buildings I recognize even if the mist was covering them. I saw the man that gave me the job at the end of the warehouse. I decided to stop the truck in the middle of the parking lot. I jumped off and made sure my pendant and my gloves were on right. I don't really need them, it just makes it easier for me to defend myself. I walked up the man. I noticed he had a suitcase with him. I walked over to him. "Truck delivered. Payment now," I sang as I waved at him to give me the suitcase. I was trying to avoid any fight. "How did you do all of that? What are you? You are not human." He sounded angry. I can also tell its voice also had a small hint of fear. "I am human, you just never realized I was never afraid of you. Now give me the suitcase," I replied. "It's impossible that you were human. Tell me how you manage to kill one of my dogs and manages to scare the other ones so much they backed off. Regular shotgun shots won't do any damages to the dogs. My dogs can break the cabin easily. How is it that they took damage just trying to break in?" He was struggling to keep his cool. I can tell he wanted to attack me. I walked up to him, grabbed him by the middle of his trench coat, pulled him down to my level. "Listen, I don't want any trouble, just give me the money and I will walk away," I spoke. I noticed that this creature had red skin, blue eyes, and sharp yellow teeth. I looked down and noticed that the creature started to raise its arms to either push me off or attack. I let him go and take a step back. He examines me. "What the hell are you?" he asked me. A car screeched nearby and I looked away. As my turn back to the creature I say, "Look, I am just a single paladin and nothing more." I then realized what I said and got mad at myself. "Paladin, you mean the holy knights that protected humans?" he asked me. "Sorry, but now I can't let you live since you know that," I said and grabbed his head. I started to squeeze hard. The creature started to defend itself and tried to scratch, punch and push me away. It started to yell for help. As it was yelling, I finished squeezing its head and noticed I was surrounded by the dogs this creature was talking about. I crouched down, keeping an eye on them. Grab a few rocks and pebbles. I then stood up and looked around. As they circled me, and they got ready to attack, I counted how many there were. I counted 7. I only had 6 rocks in my hands. I grabbed the biggest rock and split it in half. Now I have 7 rocks I can throw. Before they even started to rush, I threw 3 rocks and nailed 3 dogs in the head dead center. I can tell they died on the spot. The other 4 rushed me, dodged the first one to the right. Jumped over the second in midair. I knew the third was going to try and get me, so as I jumped, I started my swing. And released the rock as it was jumping toward me. Got the third dog. The last one was panicking and didn't attack. I turned back to the 2 that rushed me and saw they were charging at me. I threw my rocks and hit them both the same time. Turned to the last one and noticed it gave up. "Sorry puppy, but I can't let you live," I said before I put him down. I walked over to where the creature was and grabbed my suitcase. I then headed back to my gas station. Once I was back, I realized a few things. The monsters, creatures and entities have been creating jobs for their entertainment and the prize is nice. So, if you ever come by my gas station and you are following some weird set of rules, I will end your life to take over. I want that money, I don't care for your life.